a TV tilt wall bracket. What it is it can support TVs from 15 to 42 inches. It's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie. And basically the idea of this is you just have a TV, you want to mount it more or less flat on the wall, and this is a very low cost effective way of doing it. Okay, I'm going to give you an overview of exactly what's involved in it now. So there's basically two component parts to it. The first part here is the bracket that's mounted onto the wall. So we'll see here that we have arrows that points upwards, so we know it goes up this way on the wall. And the second thing here is that we have a spirit level, so we'll know when it's square on the wall. Okay, you mark out where you want to mount it. So you'll mark out, let's say, 4 locations here, 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 and here. And what you do then is you will actually drill the holes. And what we have here is, I'm just going to show you here, when we come to mount it on the wall, we'll be using what's marked as D and E here. So basically, these plugs here and also these screws, okay? And we could use the washers as well if we wish to. And we'll use this to mount it directly onto the wall. In the meantime, what we'll do is, if we had a TV here and we turned it over and faced it down, what we'd have on the back of it is we'd have a series of pre-drilled holes, and they'll be always to a VESA standard. So a VESA standard is for small TVs, it's normally 100 by 100, or larger TVs within this range would be 200 by 200. What that means is that the holes are 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters this way, and 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters this way. And or in the case of 200, the centres will be 200 by 200 in both directions. So what we mean is we come along, we get a bracket like this, we'd mount it, and we'd use either the bolts. There's 4 bolts here in A, B and C, so there are 3 different sizes, and the reason there are 3 different sizes is we don't actually know before we get to television what size the actual screw thread will be. So it just gives the full range we need. And we have washers here in case in both F and G here. You can see 4 little washers, and we can use that to mount it. So what we'll be doing at that point is we would have this mounted directly onto the back of the TV. So if we lift up the TV, it'll come up like this, okay? And we'll be able to look at it this way. And what we're going to do then is we're going to mount it directly onto the bracket that's mounted on the wall. Now what I'm going to talk about now is 2 bolts that are here, 2 screws that are here, or bolts I suppose really, that are found in section I. And what you'd use those for is you would simply screw the screws directly in here, and they're locking mechanisms. So what I'm going to do now is, I'll just recap this in a second. So if imagine this bracket mounted on the wall, and we have a TV being dropped in. We'll see this bracket here. I'll just show you a side profile. What we'll do is we have hooks here, and we have hooks further down here as well. So we'll just drop it in, top and bottom, and there's 2 ledges it's dropping onto. And we'll do the same here. Drops in and drops down again, okay? And what we can do is, if that was on TV, be mounted in. And it'd be actually reasonably secure like that if the bracket was on the wall. But a much safer way of doing it would be to use this locking mechanism that we have here. Okay? So what we'll do then is we get the locking nuts here, and I'm just going to take this back out here. So I described. You'd screw it and thread it in, and you'd use then a Phillips screwdriver, and you just tighten it and tighten it until the locking bolt actually pushes onto the base of this unit here, and it locks it securely into location. And that's a big advantage is that there's upward pressure on the TV. If somebody comes and tries to push the TV upwards, a child or something like that, or inadvertently somebody pushes up against it while moving something like that, the TV will not be able to come off it and fall down and cause an accident, okay? So that's quite a good method in relation to the whole thing. So overall, we'll say this is a nice little unit. There's fancier ones than this in the market, but the overall assembly in this is extremely simple. The cost point is great. It's available with free delivery, and it's actually quite a good seller for us on the thing. We have brackets we've tested here that are a lot more expensive than this that aren't as good as it, because they've really kept it simple, and the fact they put in the safety locking mechanism I think is a big advantage to this particular model. So that's it anyway, an overview of the TV wall mounted bracket covering TVs from 15 to 42 inches, available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie.